You probably found this video because you were in a relationship with a narcissist that has recently ended. No matter how the relationship ended or who ended the relationship first, it will leave you wondering what's going on in their head now that it's over. How will they react? What will they do? What are they thinking about? Well, if that's you, then welcome to my channel, The Narcissist Revealed, where we discuss the patterns of narcissistic relationships. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button for more videos like this. Also, check out the description box for my latest recommendations. Now, let's get straight to the video. What does a narcissist do when the relationship ends? What the narcissist does when the relationship ends can be different depending on who broke off the relationship first. If you broke it off with the narcissist unexpectedly, then you may have caused them to sustain a narcissistic injury. A narcissistic injury is not the same as hurt feelings. For them, it's so much more. They will feel like their very self is being assaulted. When you break it off unexpectedly, the narcissist can spin out of control and lash out viciously against you because you are denying them the constant affirmation that they need to feel special. If you break it off with them, they no longer feel special. They feel flawed. The narcissist may feel like they did nothing wrong to cause the relationship to end and will be bewildered as to why you ended the relationship. They will likely blame you for the breakup, saying something like, "You weren't who I thought you were," or "I never saw this coming." It is important to understand the reasons behind their reactions so that you don't feel guilty for ending the relationship. When you broke up with them, they most likely were in a state of shock and disbelief. They may have made it seem like nothing was wrong and everything was fine, when in reality, the relationship had been deteriorating for months or even years. In their mind, it was better to be in a relationship that made them feel good about themselves than to have to be in no relationship at all. Their reaction when the relationship ends will depend on how attached they were emotionally to the person and the level of abuse present in the relationship. If there was a lot of emotional involvement, the narcissist will grieve for the loss of attention. They may employ the narcissistic Hoover by attempting to contact you many times over a period of months, days, weeks, or even years to try and get back together with you. This is especially true if you were the primary source for them, filling their empty void. If there was not much emotional involvement, you provided only minimal narcissistic supply, then the grieving process would be less intense and more short-lived, perhaps no more than a few weeks. It is important to realize that they will likely view what happened as unfair or wrong. They may send you messages telling you how they miss you, even if they were abusive to you. Their desperation for another source of narcissistic supply will make them think they can do better this time around. If the narcissist was extremely attached to the relationship, they may experience narcissistic rage. This is when they lash out at their partner in anger, oftentimes seeking revenge after the fact. The nature of what occurs in the relationship after it ends will depend on what kind of abuse occurred in the relationship. Narcissists who were extremely emotionally abusive may harass their former partner or become stalkers despite having moved on to someone new. If you have children with the narcissist, then you'll most likely see them become more involved with the children after the breakup. They may have neglected the children during the relationship but try to be a part of their lives afterwards, mostly to keep tabs on you. It is important to understand what led to your decision to end things so that you don't feel guilty about it later down the road. The narcissist will likely try to manipulate you into feeling bad so that they can feel better. Letting go of the relationship is very difficult for them because it may be all the narcissistic supply they have at the time. When you broke up with the narcissist, they most likely went into a state of shock and disbelief. This means they were not prepared for this outcome, so it is likely to be something they obsess about over and over again. If the narcissist has discarded you, then it is likely something they have been meticulously planning for quite some time. In this case, the narcissist likely will have a new supply in which they've already started grooming while they were still in the relationship with you. On the outside, it may appear that they have moved on to their new source of supply very quickly, when in reality, this was all part of their plan all along. You'll wonder if you ever really meant anything to them at all. How could they already be in another relationship when you're still trying to get over the fact that the relationship has ended? Well, this is because the narcissist can't be without their narcissistic supply. They will go into withdrawals without the constant attention and admiration they need to fuel their ego. Getting this narcissistic supply is what keeps them from having to deal with their true self and feeling unloved or flawed. They will become extremely dependent on their new source of supply for this constant dose of narcissistic supply. What many do not seem to understand is the narcissist doesn't just want to replace you, they need to replace you. Their desire for narcissistic supply is so strong that they will fill that void within them with anyone as long as it gives them what they want. Relationships with a narcissist are typically very short-lived because the relationship never truly meant anything deep and meaningful to begin with. They use people and discard them when they are no longer useful to them. It's important to remember that narcissists aren't looking for love. They are looking for excitement to fuel their ego and attention. If you were their best source of narcissistic supply, then they will always want you back because without that constant admiration, how can their ego survive? Irregardless of if you break up with the narcissist first or they discard you, they will likely employ a smear campaign. They do this by creating stories about you behind your back to make themselves look better. They may lie and say that you were abusive to them and they never did anything wrong. They will twist things in a way to make themselves the victim. Narcissists create a fantastic false reality for themselves, which helps them feel better about themselves. Despite this, they will always blame everyone else for their problems. The narcissist is likely to complain about you to others and play the victim. This may be done in order to get sympathy from people or for attention. The more abuse that they claim you did towards them, the more credibility they have. This may mean claiming you have done things that really didn't happen, but they succeeded in portraying themselves as the victim. The narcissist is likely to embellish or flat out lie about what happened between you two. They will twist conversations and use them against you. Even if you were the nicest person towards a narcissist, they are still likely to think that you were the worst person in the world. They'll make up stories about how cruel you were to them and tell others. They may say it's their fault for getting themselves hurt by you, even if they really didn't suffer at all. With narcissists, this is all a part of their strategy, to look good in front of others while putting you down. They perceive themselves as superior, and anything that lowers them makes them feel worthless. Many narcissists will make up stories about their relationship with people in order to look good. Whether they are talking to family, friends, or a therapist, the narcissist is likely going to lie about what really happened. They may not remember things correctly or distort the truth in order to make themselves look good. The narcissist is likely to say that you were abusive towards them, but they never did anything wrong. Whatever stories they make up, it's all about making themselves appear better than others. Narcissists are also likely to play the victim even if they're not talking about you. Narcissists are likely to play the victim even if they're not talking about you. They may say that they have been abused, mistreated, or treated unfairly by others in general. Whatever has happened with people around them, it's always somebody else's fault. The narcissist never admits to anything being their own fault, but instead blames everyone for their problems. Their main goal after the relationship ends, no matter who initiated the breakup, is to come out without blame and appear as the victim. If you were in this situation, you have to continue to move on and continue to educate yourself about the patterns of narcissism. It will help you to continue to heal and recognize these patterns in other relationships so that you can proceed with caution. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like and subscribe and check out some of the other videos below related to this topic. And now to the next video.